Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and a review of a new Funko Pop figure that I got in the mail today. The pop figure that I will be showing you today is Smaug from the Hobbit series. So I'm really excited about this one. Not only do I love pop figures in general, and of course I love the Hobbit and I love Smaug, this is actually part of Funko Pop Figures supersized figures. The supersized figures are about 3 times the size of a standard pop figure. So here you have the box, let you see that. It is number 124. What's kind of surprising to me about this though is that this is Battle of the Five Armies and not Distillation of Smaug, which is kind of surprising because, spoiler alert, Smaug's only in the Battle of 5 Armies for like 5 seconds. Hey, let's go ahead and get this opened up so we can look at it. Alright, now we go in all of its glory. Look at it! Look at it! So there are a lot of great things about this pop figure, the detail, the size, the weight, the structure, the durability. So first let's go ahead and let's discuss the size. Okay, so as I said, this is about 3 times the size of a standard pop figure. So give you an example, here's Smaug, and I'm actually going to show you, I have an invisible Bilbo. It's a completely transparent pop figure for when Bilbo is has the ring on. So, okay, so you can see the comparison in the size here. Front waist, let's go back a little bit. All right, and now we have it side by side. Okay, so you can see width-wise too, it's a lot bigger. Okay, so let's go over some of the detail work. Okay, so the detail in here is phenomenal. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look. You got your spikes, you got the teeth are really well done, you got all the scales. So a couple things I want to touch on with the skin is the texture. Funko Pop figures, a lot of them don't have texture, they're pretty smooth, but this one actually there was a lot of effort put into it for the texture. It's a little bit different here that I see other than standard dragon statues, not Funko Pop figure statues, but just dragon statues in general. It's usually the scales are put on one by one, and I can tell how these were put on because I actually do dragon sculptures myself. So instead of having the scales laid on one by one, they're actually imprinted on. I'm going to show off for just a minute. Okay, so this is a dragon sculpture that I actually did. I cut out the scales and put them on one by one. It took like 100,000 million billion years. But these scales look like they were more imprinted onto the actual plastic itself, which is a good idea. It's still pretty effective and a big time saver, so I may actually try that in the future with mine. Alright, so while a lot of the scales are flat, they actually went through the effort and they actually did raise some of the texture. Let me go ahead and show you here. While you see it's like smooth and flat here, if you look here to the side, they actually raised it a bit so you still have some of the bumpy texture. Okay, so let's go over some of the detail work here. Obviously the spikes, and you got the basic spikes and everything. Another thing I love about the skin is that you have some wrinkles put into it to make it more realistic to reptile skin. So that's a pretty nice touch. You can find little wrinkles all throughout the body. And this is something I like about the supersized the Funko Pop figures, because a lot of times, even though they're great, they don't contain this kind of detail and this kind of texture and work and everything, but because it's supersized, they put a lot more into it. And this just makes like a really good statue, even if it wasn't related to the Hobbit or if it was a Funko Pop figure. Like if I saw this in a store randomly, I would probably buy it and put it on my shelf. One of my favorite things with this, and what made me buy this in the first place, is one of the great attention to detail, is it actually has a little mark here for his little wound, his little injury that he has here, his kryptonite basically. Which is something great about Funko Pop figures in general. They really pay attention and they put in a lot of like little in-jokes and just tiny little details that only fans of the respective pop figure, of the respective source material would get. For example, here we have a little Bilbo Baggins, He's completely transparent. He's supposed to be when he has the ring on. And something that's also really cool about this is he's completely transparent except for, I was gonna put it right here, the ring. Yes, the ring is actually left visible. So again, it's just little details like that, and you know, that they're paying attention to the fans and things that the fans are gonna notice. So I think that's something that's great about these lines. Okay, so the color, a lot of people opt to go, there's actually a gold version of Smaug when it's supposed to be the scene where he's doused in the melted gold in Desolation of Smaug. But I actually opted for this one. I like the color, honestly. I think you get a lot more detail and a lot more recognizable things. Again, I don't believe that this is on this little detail is actually on the gold versions. Now, it does actually seem quite durable. It's got a nice, decent weight to it. The only bendy parts are the wings. Are the tiniest bit bendy, and so is the tail. But other than that, the spikes and stuff that are put on throughout are completely durable. They don't bend, so they're not gonna break off. So all in all, I actually really only have one complaint about this. It looks like there's some kind of damage or something, or like they added too much plastic or something to parts of it. Cause like, let me show you right here on some of the spikes right here. If you can see that. And then there's also another spot right here. Now, I know some of the gold Smaugs have them, so I don't know if it was something done intentionally. I doubt it. I don't think Smaug has any distinct enough scarring on those particular spikes that I feel they need it added on the figures. And I haven't seen, I've only seen a few that have it, so it's probably just something that was done when they're making them. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with him. I love his expression. His expression is amazing. I also love the fact that this was a complete accident that I actually have an invisible Bilbo to pair him with. Bilbo ends up being invisible a lot with Smaug, so it's a nice pairing, again, complete coincidental. I've had this forever and just decided to get this. Now, I could be wrong here because it was actually my husband that went crazy looking for this and ordering this. But I think that these are kind of hard to get. These are a Hot Topic exclusive. I mean, you can get them off of eBay and Amazon, but my understanding is that when you see it, you gotta grab it. And we were lucky, we got this for $13, and I looked at the price right before I decided to do this video, just curious how much they can be, and depends, some range up to like $60. So if you see it, if you want this and you see it cheap, you gotta kind of jump on it. And I could be wrong about how difficult it was to find because again, I wasn't the one searching for this and ordering this, so I think this is what took them a little while to get it. So yes, if you're a fan of dragons and fantasy and The Hobbit, and if you do collect these figures, I couldn't recommend this anymore, honestly. This is probably my favorite that we have right now. I told my husband if we ever get divorced, I'm getting him in the custody battle, along with my little Eric Draven Crow pop figure. But this is another review and topic for another day. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If there's anything else you would like to see me unbox or any other pop figures you would like to see me open, go ahead and let me know. Maybe I will just purchase it. Maybe I'll just do another unboxing and review too. What Funko Pop figures do you have? And which are your favorites and why? Alright, so if you enjoyed this, please subscribe.